Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Draymond Green's net worth in 2024. Draymond Green's net worth in 2024 is $90 million. Green is perhaps the most underappreciated member of the star-studded Golden State Warriors dynasty. But he's the most controversial and continues to find himself in headlines for his antics as well as his generally outspoken nature. Draymond Green just signed a 4-year, $100 million contract with the Warriors, but the Warriors might be regretting the investment after Green was suspended for the second time in the 2023-24 season for his conduct on the court. With it being the sixth suspension of his career, let's look at Draymond Green's net worth in 2024. Draymond Green's net worth in 2024 is estimated to be around $90 million, per Celebrity Net Worth. Green made $25.8 million in 2022-23 and had a player option worth $27.6 million in 2023-24. Green opted out of the contract, signing a 4-year, $100 million contract to stay with the Warriors. It all started in 2012 for Green when he was selected 35th overall in the draft. He was coming off an impressive 4-year stint out of Michigan State, where he averaged 16.2 points, 10.6 rebounds, and 3.8 assists as a senior. Nonetheless, more than a few teams passed on Green during the draft, which caused him to slip to the second round. As such, Green was not exactly rolling in the deep in his first few years in the league. Over his first 3 seasons with the Warriors, his average annual income was just $880,000 per season. By the summer of 2015, however, Green had proven that he deserved a huge raise. This came out to the tune of a 5-year, $82 million deal with the Warriors. He had made it at that point. Green made his first trip to the All-Star game that season. He's now a 4-time All-Star. The Saginaw, Michigan, native has been named to the All-NBA squad twice and to the All-Defensive team on 8 occasions. Of course, he has lifted the championship 4 times in his career after the Warriors beat the Boston Celtics in the 2022 NBA Finals. By 2019, the Warriors had to dig deep into their pockets to extend Green's deal. They went all in on their prized forward, locking him up for another 4 years for a whopping $99.7 million. After declining a $27.6 million player option for 2023-24, the Warriors topped Green's previous deal by $300,000 to lock him up for another 3 seasons. Green is very talkative off the court and makes plenty of headlines through his Volume podcast, The Draymond Green Show. He reacts to noteworthy events in the NBA, including ones involving himself and the Warriors. Given his nature, it's not surprising that he has done work for TNT as an analyst. Green and Charles Barkley had a notable feud, which isn't surprising given their outspoken ways. As for endorsements, Green has dealt with Nike, New Era, and Major League Fantasy, among others. Sportskeeda also reports that Green signed a franchise development deal with Blink Fitness to launch at least 20 gyms in his native state of Michigan. Green is a business-minded individual, and as it appears, he will still be earning significantly even after he calls it a career in the NBA. At 33 years old, Green still has some strong years left, even if he's not quite the player he once was. The Warriors star is trying to help his team make yet another championship run. The latest drama is a setback and brings back memories of other incidents in his past, such as the 2016 NBA Finals suspension. Green has racked up over $1 million in fines throughout his career. He has made over $177 million in his NBA career but has given back more than most players. Nonetheless, was Draymond Green's net worth in 2024 a surprise? Warriors star Steph Curry contradicts Steve Kerr's take. The Golden State Warriors blew a 16-point first-half lead as Stephen Curry went cold from the outside in their 119-103 loss on Sunday, February 25, at Chase Center. Warriors coach Steve Kerr had a concerning take on Curry's current state after the two-time MVP only made one of 10 three-pointers, the third time over their last 4 games he shot under 30% from deep. "I think Steph has looked tired to me the last couple of games," Kerr told reporters following their 7th straight loss to the defending champions dating back to last season. Curry sandwiched a 6 of 13 three-point shooting night against the Los Angeles Lakers on February 22, with a 3 of 11 and 4 of 14 three-point shooting against the Charlotte Hornets on February 23 and Utah Jazz on February 15. Kerr said he would consult Rick Celebrini, the Warriors' director of sports medicine and performance, if Curry would have to sit out some games in their upcoming schedule, a 4-game road trip followed by a back-to-back set, part of a 3-game in 4 nights homestand. "We'll just take it game by game and see how he's doing, but like I said, this is all part of the season," Kerr said. "Every player goes through it, just feeling a little fatigued, a little heavy-legged, and then you know he'll get it back, and if we have to give him a game to help him do that, then we'll do that." Curry is having none of it. He answered with an emphatic no to each question about feeling fatigued and if he needed to sit out a game. "You miss shots like it's one of those things," Curry told reporters after scoring only 20 points on 6 of 19 shooting. "That's why they're called averages, like you got the highs and the lows of it. Again, the standard that you set when you don't meet it, there's questions about are your legs getting tired or not. You just miss shots and you keep shooting. It's part of the nature of being available and playing every game which, you never lose confidence and come back on Tuesday, try to shoot well on the road." In an era of load management, Curry takes pride in playing in every game he can play. He has only missed 3 games in his 15th season in the league, 2 of them due to a sore right knee in mid-November and 1 game due to a sore right foot in late October last year. Chris Paul's return on Tuesday against the Washington Wizards will help keep Curry fresh for the clutch moments. Obviously, Chris will play all of the non-Steph, Curry, minutes, and then he'll be out there with Steph as well, and it's easier for us to Steph off the ball and take some of the wear and tear off of him when Chris is out there, because he doesn't have to bring it up and battle pressure and all that, Kerr said. Paul, 38, returns after missing the Warriors' last 21 games due to a second metacarpal fracture of his left hand. They went 12-9 without him. Nikola Jokic on his defense after 4 steals versus Warriors: "I'm not bad, not good. I'm in the middle." The cartoonish defensive player of the game chain is objectively the Nuggets' corniest tradition, a blinged-up symbol of morale and affirmation usually reserved for college football sidelines rather than NBA locker rooms. If it seems one is too many, brace for impact. We only travel with one. We've got to change that, Nuggets coach Michael Malone said after a 119-103 win over the Warriors on Sunday. "Because if we had 2 chains, Nikola would have gotten the other one. The lone chain couldn't belong to anyone but Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for his dogged efforts in trying to out-cardio Steph Curry in the half-court. But in Nikola Jokic's trio of video game performances since the All-Star break, his defense has stood up respectably next to his offense. He's averaging 27.3 points, 16.7 rebounds, and 15 assists on 68.7% shooting, plus 3 stocks, a combination of blocks and steals. When he's on the floor this season, the Nuggets are allowing 112.1 points per 100 possessions, 1.3 below their overall total as a team. As a crowded MVP race heats up with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Luka Doncic, Jokic's 4 steals against Golden State were a testament to the trickiness in evaluating his defense. He's not always noticeably impactful. The number one argument skeptics make against his annual candidacy is that he's a liability, but when he's engaged in the game plan and actively anticipating an opponent's next move the way he does on offense, he can be a master of his role in Denver's defensive system. "I'm not bad, not good," Jokic said Sunday at Chase Center. "I'm in the middle. By the same token that Jokic doesn't dunk the basketball often, he rarely swats shots or plays above the rim defensively. Instead, the Nuggets maximize their center strengths by having him guard higher up against ball screens than most big men in the NBA, subsequently leaning heavily on weak side help from Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. to contain rollers. When Jokic can play from the middle of the floor, his vision and IQ work in sync with his quick hands. The more he's up in pick and rolls and on the ball, that's what he's great at, Caldwell Pope said recently. Just being up. Active hands. Getting deflections when they try to make that pocket pass. Jokic amassed 5 deflections to go with his 4 steals in Denver's 7th consecutive win against the Warriors. As of the 56-game mark, he was tied for 8th in the league with 2.9 per game, as many as the absurdly wingspanned Victor Wembanyama. That speaks to activity, that speaks to a physicality, that speaks to being in that right place in the right time, said Malone. Disrupting the pocket pass is a facet of Jokic's innate understanding of pick-and-roll angles, the same understanding that makes his two-man game with Jamal Murray so brilliant at the other end of the floor. It's not Murray he's generally teaming up with to defend the pick-and-roll, though. It's Caldwell Pope, who's regularly charged with premier backcourt matchups. The experienced Caldwell Pope is one of the best guards in the league at navigating screens. But the Nuggets have minimal off-day practice time during the season to refine two-man defensive chemistry, and Jokic and Caldwell Pope haven't been playing their entire careers together. So, says Caldwell Pope, it's a matter of learn on the go. I feel like with Jock, in a pick-and-roll with him defensively, I know he's gonna be up, he said. I know he has great hands, just like I have great hands. He's gonna try to go for the steal as well. So just us two, being in that action, it helps me out a lot. It helps him just to get back to his man and helps me stay as close as possible to my man. That's our game plan, him being up. And it's good for our team, for him to be up. Caldwell Pope added that his individual emphasis, to hound the ball handler through the screen while Jokic also stays up, is made easier by Jokic dropping marginally behind him and being able to see other aspects of the play unfolding. He reads plays faster than I can sometimes, the former Laker said. That's him, to be honest, Jokic retorted of his chemistry with Caldwell Pope. I'm just there to not mess up. He's a really good defender, and I'm there to just try to help him a little bit. As much as I can. But it's mostly him. Malone places particular emphasis on the big coming up on screens against the Warriors, whose on- and off-ball actions are often predicated on freeing up Curry for a three-point attempt. Curry scored 14 points in the third quarter Sunday, but he shot 1-for-10 from three-point range overall and scored only 6 points in the other 3 quarters combined. He turned it over 3 times. The Warriors did 17 times. Jokic's active hands were clogging passing lanes. He's so smart defensively, Steve Kerr marveled. Caldwell Pope might be the one chasing Curry around the floor. But the way Denver defends most plays initiated by Curry requires a competent defensive big man as well. If that's not enough to help earn Jokic a 3rd MVP trophy, Malone will have to bring a second chain next time instead. You're almost blitzing, Curry, Malone said. And Nikola was up every time in those pick-and-rolls to help contribute to what KCP was doing. So his engagement and his activity was off the charts. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation about Nikola Jokic? Leave your opinion in the comments.